So we're done now discussing your business combination through an asset acquisition and its consolidation. So we already talked what is the effect of an asset acquisition when we consolidate it. Now we talk about your stock acquisition date of combination. Okay. So in your stock acquisition date of combination, two items are only different as compared to your asset acquisition. Why? In your asset acquisition, we already know the effect of a consideration transferred. We already know the effect of a contingent consideration. We already know the effect of FVNA, including the goodwill or bargain purchase, including the direct or indirect costs, and stock issuance costs. So these items were already discussed in your asset acquisition. They have the same effect. So whatever is the effect that we have discussed a while back, whether it decrease or increase cash, increase or decrease liability, increase asset or liability, etc., or decrease retained earnings, it does have the same effect. So again, your consideration transferred, contingent consideration, FVNA, goodwill, direct, and stock issuance costs, the effect is the same with what we have discussed a while back in your asset acquisition. Now, in your stock acquisition, two items are different. These are your previously held interests, including your non-controlling interests. Previously held interest and non-controlling interest. So what is this previously held interest again? This happens, guys, if ever we have a step acquisition. Do you still remember what is the step acquisition? So you have again an ownership interest that is less than 50%. Then you purchase a new interest to give you greater than 50%. Okay? So that is your previously held interest. So in your previously held interest, what is the effect? So generally, first you need to increase the amount of your previously held interest. So in case there is a change, remember previously held interest should be measured at fair value. So the changes in fair value is dependent whether it is measured at fair value through profit or loss or fair value through other comprehensive income. If it's fair value through profit or loss, you place the change in fair value in your profit or loss. If it is measured under FVT OCI, the change in fair value is presented in OCI. Okay. So the first one that we are to discuss in your stock acquisition date of combination is your previously held interest. So take note before we learned in your business combination that your previously held interest should be measured at fair value. So if you measure that in fair value, what is the effect on your change in fair value? Your change in fair value increases FVTPL or increases FVTOCI or decrease FVTPL or decrease FVTOCI. So for example, you have a previously held interest of 3 million. The fair value now is 4 million. So there is an increase of 1 million. So the increase, of course, will increase your profit or loss or OCI. But what if it's 3 million and the fair value now is 2 million? Right? 2.5 million. The fair value now is 2.5 million. So it now decreases your profit or loss and OCI at 500,000 pesos. Okay? So that's the effect of your FVTPL and FVTOCI. As to your change in fair value of previously held interest. So what's the effect then of a previously held interest? So of course, first, you need to account for the increase in asset. It will increase your asset and at the same time, increase your retained earnings or OCI. Okay? So, ang entry mo kasi is debit, FVTPL or FVTOCI, and then credit gain. Normally kasi gain naman lagi. Okay? So, pag previously held interest, normally gain naman lagi. Ang entry mo, debit FVTPL, credit FVTOCI, and then gain. Clear? And then if there's a non-controlling interest, you will place your non-controlling interest as part of your equity. NCI, part of equity. Okay? So it is part of equity. So if you will make an entry, you will record an NCI part of equity. So kumbaga, ang credit mo na dito, so say ang consideration transferred mo is cash, so you credit cash. You will also credit contingent liability. If you have a contingent consideration, you will also credit your previously held interest. So initially, i-increase mo yan, di ba? And then subsequently, tanggalin mo yan, FVTPL or FVTOCI for this previously held interest. And then you will also record the non-controlling interest. So credit non-controlling interest. Non-controlling interest will be part of your equity. Sir, how about your previously held interest? So you will just increase first, take note, increase first, and then subsequently, you will deduct. Ulitin natin. So in your stock acquisition, this is almost the same with your asset acquisition at the date of business combination. The difference only is your previously held interest and your non-controlling interest. So the previously held interest will be first adjusted based on the change on fair value. So how will you adjust it again? If it is FVTPL, the change in fair value is presented in profit or loss. If FVTOCI, the change in fair value is presented in other comprehensive income. So generally, your entry, if there is a gain, debit FVTPL or FVTOCI credit gain. Now, for your non-controlling interest, you will just make an entry on that once you purchase already or there is already a business combination. So generally, we have these four items for business combination, right? We have your consideration transferred. So to make an entry, you credit cash, you credit your SHE, or you credit a liability, depending on your consideration. Also, for contingent consideration, to make an entry, you credit contingent liability. For previously held interest, your entry is first you will make the entry on the change in fair value, and then you will subsequently credit FVTPL or FVTOCI as to that particular investment that will be removed. And lastly, as to your non-controlling interest, you will make an entry, credit non-controlling interest. Take note, non-controlling interest is part of equity. So in your stock acquisition, what is only the difference again? Previously held interest, which is you need to account for the change and then subsequently remove it in the books. Next, as to your non-controlling interest, what should you do? You should account it. Ayan siya. You should account it and place it as part of equity. Okay, again, previously held interest in your stock acquisition, date of combination, you will first account for the change and then you remove it in the books. Ayan, dito siya na-remove guys. Oh. Kung pansinin niyo. Yan, na-remove siya sa books. Account for the change and then remove from the books. Next, on your NCI, you account it in equity. So you'll credit NCI, it will be part of your equity. That is for stock acquisition on date of combination.